Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is what I feel when.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Matthew Makovich and Phil Januszewski. Welcome to the Trainer Positivity Virtual Summit 2021. And it is my honor and my privilege to introduce our very own Steve Gadlin to the show today. Steve is a comedian, an entrepreneur, a businessman, but I don't want to give too much away. But Steve, thank you so much for joining us. And to officially get this party started, can you please let us know, who are you? What has your professional journey been up until this date? The world wants to know.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this. My name is Steve Gadlin. Uh, Boy, my professional journey, I have a day job. I do web marketing for a microphone company by day. But one thing I've always clung to is a passion for side projects and ridiculous side projects. So, I think it was 10 years ago that I launched my first real public offering called I Want to Draw a Cat for You, which was a website where you could pay me $10 and I would draw you a stick figure cat. It was a social experiment, not so much an entrepreneurial venture, until I accidentally found myself marching down the aisle on Shark Tank, and then accidentally partnering with billionaire Mark Cuban on my cat drawing business. And now I've accidentally drawn about 21,000 stick figure cats for people all over the world. So the confidence that comes with unexpected success on a silly little side venture has really helped me launch many other projects, and even taking some of my older projects and putting them out to a new audience. So in addition to the cat drawings, I've had a couple of t-shirt companies where we'd sell ridiculous t-shirts, not like this super boring just plain t-shirt, but cool creative t-shirts. I even got into the raccoon penis bone business for a while, and have had a streaming interview show that I turn on and off from time to time when the spirit guides me. So I'd say my entrepreneurial journey, my professional journey has really been forked between creating a life that can help me raise my family and live in this house and put food on the table, but also find a life that sort of feeds me creatively and energetically, and helps me bring weird, strange, confusing experiences to other people.
I think that was very well said. Thank you, Steve.
Of course.
So when we reached out to you for the summit, we did, the whole survey, and you mentioned one thing that really resonated with us that we'd like to know more about. You mentioned that big questions can lead to big answers. Could you expand or elaborate more on that? And I think some of your examples earlier probably kind of talked about that a little bit too.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think we're all, at least for me, and I think for a lot of other people, we default to assuming that amazing things happen to amazing people, and we paint a picture in our head of what an amazing person is, right? And we watch on television and then on the internet, social media, really amazing experiences happening to a very select group of people. And I think we all have a built-in filter that forces us to see ourselves as somehow different from those people who do big and amazing things, when really there is no difference, because everything's pretend. So I find that by forcing yourself to ask some big questions, you can find yourself in those situations too, and you start to bring amazing things into your own life as well. Um, I should not have stood in front of a billionaire and asked him to invest in my stick figure cat drawing company, right? Who the heck am I? But I did, and he said yes, and it took me on an incredible journey. Even on a much smaller scale throughout my life, by asking a question, I don't always mean literally asking someone a question, but I mean really putting yourself out there and exposing a part of yourself to people, and really asking for approval or validation there. Something we're all terrified to do. We all have really amazing projects in the back of our heads, and we don't need them all to be successes to be worthwhile. I can count far more failures in my projects than I can successes, but I think each one of them is just a way to grease the wheels of my creativity, and a way to get better at expressing an idea I have, so that eventually these ideas will resonate even more. So ask big questions. When I was in college, I used to write letters to celebrities asking for a Volkswagen Beetle because why the heck not? Right? I wanted one. These people had the means. So let's ask for one. I didn't get one, but it helped grease the gears of creativity and helped remind me that amazing things aren't reserved for select people. They're reserved for the people who have the guts to just go out and ask for the things they want.
I love that. And Steve, talk about a perfect segue on the topic of creativity and pursuing creative outlets. What advice would you give to somebody who, let's say, doesn't have that 9-to-5 job, but really wants to put their sole focus into pursuing a career based off of their creativity and their passions? Would you have any advice? Would you give any specific information about if they're planning on going that route?
Yeah, I would never advise someone to try to take their creative passion and turn it into their career. I think naively, and I've yet to be proven right or wrong, I guess, that if you just focus on the things you're passionate about, the chips will fall into place. And granted, there's a little more hustle required to monetize an idea. But that's not the part that interests me so much. That's a really frustrating path. That's a real quick and easy way to get some negative validation really fast. Unfortunately, I know there's such a, I'd love it if my creative projects were my sole activity, were all I had to do to support myself, support my family. And for some people they are, and I think that's awesome. I don't know that that's the destiny for all of us, and I don't know that that's necessary for fulfillment. Sure, I'd love to be able to spend more time on those things and less time on things that I don't see as lighting those fires for me. But I find, for me at least, the pursuit of that, the pursuit of taking my creativity and turning that into my career is really disheartening. I find it far more fulfilling to find my tribe, find the audience that's right for the type of stuff I do, and keep communicating with them through creating.
I love that. Thank you, Steven. So many ideas are resonating with me right now. I love it. You got to write a book about this if you haven't yet. Are you a published author yet, Steve?
No, I'm not. No,
Soon.
none of my books have anything useful in them.
We like that. We like that. All right.
I'll have to watch this recording and transcribe it and see if I can get a chapter or two out of it. But
It all starts here. That's it.
hopefully a couple publishers are listening right now and saying that's the guy we need right now.
all right, perfect.
So, Steve, with that being said, you brought up a lot of profound, big ideas, and we really appreciate it. I love the yin and yang with your silly projects that are creative, but yet you really do have some really important big questions and ideas about what fulfills you in that. If there's people out there that want to get in touch with you, get a cat drawing, want to see your silly side projects, or would just like to, learn more about you in that, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you, carry on a conversation, whatever?
I have a website where I've tried to consolidate my history of weird and absurd, confusing projects. It is fart.pizza. That's all you have to type in your browser, fart.pizza.
Beautiful.
And from there, you'll find links to all my social media, a bunch of regrettable videos of regrettable projects, and a couple of winners as well. So I really hope people will check out the website. It's a really interesting journey of a weirdo and the strange things he's tried to throw out into the world to try to connect with other people.
Well, Steve, you call yourself a weirdo. I call you somebody who's been, I feel like, a creative motivator for me, and somebody from the Chicagoland area who has watched what you have done for a number of years, have always been a massive fan. So to have you here today means a lot to me. I truly appreciate it. And please know that we want the world to know all the wonderful things you're doing. So we really appreciate it. Of course. And
Yeah, really, it's great to hear that. And I always appreciate you reaching out, and it's great to cross paths with you.
And on behalf of Phil and myself, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And thank you for contributing to the virtual summit.
Thank you for joining us for the 2021 Train of Positivity Virtual Summit. If you have enjoyed this positive message, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. If sharing, please don't forget to use the hashtag Train of Positivity. Continue to have a great day, and thanks again for tuning in.